Closing on a home requires more than just a down payment. From legal fees to property taxes, closing fees add up fast. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering all the essential closing costs so that you can prepare financially and avoid any nasty surprises. Let's dive right in. First up, we have property transfer tax, which is based off the purchase price. Property transfer tax is 1% on the first 200,000, 2% on the portion between 200,000 and 2 million, 3% on the portion between 2 million and 3 million, and 5% on any portion above $3 million. If you're a first-time homebuyer and the purchase price is below $835,000, you may qualify for an exemption, which could save you up to $8,000. Next up, we have GST. GST is 5% and applies to newly built homes, substantially renovated homes, and some vacant lots. If you're buying a resale home that hasn't been substantially renovated, you should be exempt from GST. If you're buying a newly built home with a purchase price under $1.1 million, you should be exempt from property transfer tax. But make sure that you always verify this with an accountant prior to purchasing. Next up, we have legal fees. You'll need a lawyer or a notary to handle the conveyancing of your property. The cost of this typically ranges between $1,300 to $2,500, depending on how complicated the transaction is and where you're located. Make sure you call around to a few different places to make sure you get the best rate. Next up, we have home inspections. While this isn't technically a closing cost, as you pay for it prior to closing, it is still important to budget for them. In Kamloops, home inspections typically cost between $500 to $600, and this isn't a cost that you want to skimp on, as home inspections are one of the best protections against costly surprises down the road. Next up, we have the appraisal fee. Most lenders will require an appraisal to ensure that the purchase price aligns with the home value. The cost of this usually falls between $400 to $700. Make sure you ask your mortgage provider if the cost of appraisal is included. Often, if you're getting an insured mortgage, which is where you put less than 20% down, the cost of the appraisal fee is included in the package. However, with most conventional mortgages, where you're putting 20% or more, the cost of the appraisal lands on you. Up next, we have title insurance. As the name implies, this is insurance for the property title. This covers you for things like unpaid property taxes and boundary disputes. Most lenders will require title insurance, and the cost typically lands between $250 and $400. Up next, we have adjustments. Adjustments cover any prepaid expenses by the seller for things like property taxes, utilities, or strata fees. Essentially, you're reimbursing the seller for any prepaid expenses for the time that you own the home. Make sure you ask your lawyer or notary for an estimate of the adjustments so that you can prepare in advance. Then we have home insurance. Home insurance is required by the lenders to help protect their investment. The cost of home insurance can vary widely, but in Kamloops, it typically falls between $1,000 to $3,000 a year. This can be paid upfront in a lump sum or monthly. That pretty well covers the most common closing costs. However, it is still important to budget for additional costs with certain properties. These include things like well and septic inspections for rural properties, oil tank scans for older homes that might have buried tanks, and fees associated with strata document reviews, crucial for condos and townhomes. As you can see, closing costs can add up fast, but knowing what to expect can help you prepare. A good rule of thumb is to budget 1.5% to 4% of the purchase price to deal with these costs. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, do me a favor and give the video a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more real estate related advice. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below or reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to go over things with you in more detail. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.